put up with these chains on me. I ain't never had no handout, now they wanna take from me. No weapons. I'm like, oh, yeah, that shit in the past. I'm trying to get past all that. Open one eye scars, I'm keeping my guard up. I done been stabbed in my back. It was never your fun, should have been done. But I let you still come back. When they gave you my heart, you don't trust me at all. And you feel like that. You can do what you want, it's awesome. If it ever goes sour, don't call me. But we had a shit in the closet. You a messy little bitch and I'm watching. Trying to argue, you get no response from me. Let you have it with more than you want from me. Better get out my way, it's the storm coming. Shoot me as a joke, I'm not funny. She had me on my way with the lights on. Making video, bitch, the lights on. I deleted your pictures on my phone. Feeling better since I've been on my own. Know you thinking I'm coming back, I'm gone. I can see you play with you, I'm grown. You're the one that I love till I come home. So lucky, it will not prosper. So lucky. Let them catch me when I fall, so I gotta take it higher. See that shit on my neck, you see me walking through the fire. So many chains on me, when I put up with these chains on me. I ain't never had no handout, now they wanna take it from me. No way.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, we're starting off with that little baby.
I just lost some real, still losing real, feel like it's voodoo though. Phone on face, the ass on them, they beat that case, they coming home. Tell them be they stomach strong. We was on the blocks, I had my Glock, they weren't trying to stop me. I seen through that shit so cool, now I lost his face, or he lost trouble. Back door open, it feel like I be next. I gotta keep my bump, I heard you talk, don't call me from the county, just to leave my number. I'm fighting through anxiety. I was around my bitch so long, I'm starting to think she was tired of me. You don't really know my pain, it's a tragedy. My cousin died until the day when she mad at me. We was on them blocks, I had my Glock, they weren't trying to stop. I seen through that shit so cool, now I lost his face, so he lost trouble. Back door open, it feel like I be next. I gotta keep my bump, I heard you talk, don't call me from the county, just to leave my number.
Let them catch me when I fall, so I gotta take it higher. See that shit on my neck, you see me walking through the fire. So many chains on me, when I put up with these chains on me. I ain't never had no handout, now they wanna take it from me. No weapons on me, they will not prosper. They won't listen to me. Been through the fire. They will not lucky. It will not prosper. They will not so lucky. It will need to prosper.
Yeah, man. Y'all check that out, man. It's that little baby, that backstab. I him and Dirt, man. That's one that I've been jamming hard. It's kind of deep, man. Shouts out to Dirt. I know he got a lot going on in his personal life right now. Definitely can understand that on our level, so definitely keep your head up. Shouts out to Dirt one time for Dirt. Yeah, man, I want to start this one off, man. Got a couple different places I'm going to go with this one. Man, my heart just heavy with a lot of different stuff. One of the first things I want to touch on is saying this here. Hey, man, you got to be able to hold yourself accountable. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to look yourself in the face and say, man, look, bro, you did wrong. You got to be able to put yourself in other people's shoes for a second and be able to look at yourself from an outward perspective. And that's not always no easy thing to do for most people, especially for me. So, yeah, you most definitely got to be able to take accountability and be able to say when you're wrong and be able to move on from it if it's possible. If it's not, that's something different. But Yeah, because, one of the easiest things to do for people to do is look at other people wrong and see the wrong that other people doing. That's that's super easy for some people, including myself. And being that this is a real podcast about real stuff, I gotta be 100% honest, even when it comes to myself. I gotta tell the truth, even when it's about me. So that's one of the things that I want to tell people, man. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid to take accountability, man. Don't be afraid to say when you're wrong, man, and try to come back from it if it's possible. Because a lot of people, man, a lot of friendships, a lot of relationships, a lot of different things like end with people because one person don't see they wrong or see they wrong and can't step up to the plate and admit that, like, this what that was, And if you one of them type of people, that's for you. I wanted to start off with heavy on that. One of the next topics I want to jump into before I go into what else I was going to talk about compensation. Hey man, it's a such thing as compensation, and it's also such thing as overcompensation. By all means, if you owe something, pay it. By any means. That's in business, though. On a more personal level, you can only do so much. If a person that did a favor for you, if a person that did something for you, if a person that looked out for you, most definitely, when you're in a better situation to be able to look out, you most definitely should return a favor without a question. Nothing repays loyalty but loyalty. But do you owe to a person to keep putting yourself out on the limb every single time, over and over and over, because this person kept it a gangster with you, because they kept it, like, that's the question. Like, at what point, at what point is the debt paid? Because you don't have to continuously put yourself in a bind. Hey man, if you love somebody and they love you, then they're going to be able to understand that you just can't. And that's hard to accept sometimes. That's hard to accept, having to be able to tell somebody that you can't. But the person on the other hand, hey man, if they can't understand that you can't, then they really don't care. And that's what an overcompensating come in at. You try to do whatever you can do for whatever reasons and put yourself in a bind. The ending result is you in a bind. That's what the ending result is. If this person looked out for you, maybe they had it to do, and they wouldn't be in a bind by doing it. By giving you that advice or coming through, or, but man, don't feel like you owe nobody a part of your life because they came through for you. Stop trying to go out on a limb to prove to everybody around them that you love them, while only accepting and demanding so little back. The fuck? Man, you got to demand the same thing back that you're giving. If you ain't giving nothing, if you ain't coming correct, if you ain't, then you don't deserve shit. So, I wanted to say heavy on that, man, because, I find so many people that coming out of these prison settings, like myself, that feels the guilt from being away, the guilt from missing so much, the guilt from being blinded by, the prison walls from all of and I overcompensate in every way I can. And it don't make me feel good. It make me feel guilty. Because I know I'm doing a disservice. I'm doing a disservice because I'm hurting myself trying to help somebody with something that they want and not what they need. Because it's something that I can't go back and change. Because I was away. I can't change that. Because I missed the first day of school, because I missed the everything. I can't change that. So I find myself putting myself in jams and situations that end up hurting more than helping, hurting both parties. Because once I hurt myself, then I shut off. So, man, you just got to do what you can do and be honest and up front. And if a person can't understand, then that's what it is. But this is where people go wrong at too. Because it's another side of that coin. If this your people and you really mess with them, be honest and say you can't. Don't leave people on saying, be honest. And if they can't accept that, then it ain't nothing more to talk about. I had to put my hands down. I spoke with Cecil today, and he was critiquing one of my videos, and he was telling me that that's one of the things that I do real bad, and I know I do. I gesticulate real bad with my hands. I speak with my hands, and I'm not always aware of where the camera is and where it's supposed to be. So, yeah, I don't want to block the camera from seeing my whole face. So, I'm trying to learn as I'm going how to do this and be correct with doing it. This is a learning process for me. I'm brand new at it. Hey, but this is my calling. I know that this is my calling. I've had a vision in my head to do exactly what I'm doing now, way before I knew what a podcast was. Just a little about myself. People don't know me. I'm Zoran Johnson, author of No Fair Chance. This is my podcast, MWM, Material with a Message. And I was wrongfully convicted, sentenced to 12. I was sentenced to 25 years in prison and was released after 12 and a half years. So now I'm free and I'm pushing my book. My first book is No Fair Chance, and it's out now on all platforms. We're working on coming with the next one. We also got a few other things going on. I'm not going to speak on it too much on the podcast until it's fully in fruition, but I wanted to also touch heavy on this real quick. Anybody that's tuning in that watch my podcast or happen to pass by and happen to hear what I got going on, let me first say to this. I want to say if my topic of prison or recidivism, different things that incorporate in a prison institution, seems to be redundant or, just too repetitive, I apologize. But that is one of my main goals on this channel, to bring awareness to what's going on in the penal system, what's going on in the judicial system, what's going on with just making people aware of what's going on and where they're standing and what they're doing. So by me coming out of the prison setting, I'm heavy with this being the umbrella for the brothers and sisters from the struggle that come out of those settings. It's for a universal struggle of people. However, we heavy on people coming out of the prison system or getting ready to come out of the system with equipping them with certain information, with equipping them with certain knowledge and directions that they can go that'll help them increase their chances of staying free. Um, we talk heavy on prison stories because that's one of my biggest experiences in my adult life is the prison system with some of the many, many things that I've seen. Some tragic, some funny, some not so funny. Um, and that's just what this entire platform is about. So as you go into my videos, if they seem to be more repetitive and redundant, I definitely apologize, but we definitely heavy on those types of people and that can relate to that form of struggle. And also to just be awareness and be assistance to the brothers and sisters that's coming out of those settings because we want them to not be a part of the recidivism. We want them to be a part of the success story. You know, we want them to be a part of the push for greatness. And we want to give them a home, something to listen to, something that they can Google and find some information, something they can DM me for and find out something they need about some information, or starting a podcast, or putting a book out, or finding employment, like profitable employment with some of the steps that I took with coming out of the prison setting and finding employment and finding a way to navigate and open businesses and become on a path to being my own boss. So I definitely want to share any and all knowledge about matters as such. I want to share any and all knowledge about the little that I know about the LLC and how helpful it can be to you with getting it. So definitely tap in with me. We can get with that. But besides that, that's what our channel entails. So I'm gonna go to a story that's on my heart, and I want to discuss that. I got a prison story that I'm gonna tell a little bit later, which is not really a story, but it's awareness of what's going on. And I'm definitely trying my best to push this story to any and everybody that'll listen to it, because I definitely need y'all help. So if you look at this video, we'll be going live again at roughly 10:30. We're gonna say at 10:30 about the next story, and I'm gonna try to tap in as many different people as I can to get them a part of it, to try to drop information and push and see what we can get done. But right now, I want to talk about this story, and I'm gonna give a little background on it. I'm gonna let it play so y'all can hear it. A lot of people heard it, or is aware of it. But this just ran across my desk today, and my brother asked me to do some coverage on the stories on what's going on in New Orleans. And I really had been waiting to, get a little bit more information. But I want to start with this one, with this particular part of the story. And before I start the story about this particular part, I want to say that I send my deepest condolences out to the entire family of all of the victims. I send my deepest condolences to all of the parents, everybody that's grieving in that entire situation. Nobody's life is more important than another one. And I'm just depicting this story because it's a personal story to me, being that I'm a father of girls, and one of my daughters is in the field going to school to be a nurse, and it just touched me different. So I'm going to give a little play on it first, and then I'll come back and we can talk about it.
She was a mother and a certified nurse assistant, and her family tells us she is one. And that breaking news tonight, the final victim has been identified in the Bourbon Street terror attack. Her name is Latasha Polk. She was a mother and a certified nurse assistant, and her family tells us she is one of the 14 people who were killed when a Texas van rammed a pickup truck into a crowd of people on Bourbon Street New Year's Day. At this time, the coroner has not officially identified Polk as one of the victims, but her family members say they were informed this morning that she had passed. Well, good evening and thanks so much for sticking with us. I'm Whitney Miller. Polk and the 13 other victims were honored tonight with a vigil. Rachel Hanley is at Bourbon and Canal. Well, Rachel, I'm sure it is still very heavy out there tonight.
It is, and it has been all night. There were a lot of.
Yeah. This young lady, she went to celebrate and enjoy the festivities against her mother's wishes. I'm gonna play a little bit more.
People that showed up at 7th and LaTosha Polk. It's two different memorial sites on Bourbon Street and Canal. As we said, she is the last victim to have been identified, and they just found out this morning that she had passed. Now they're just trying to cope with this devastating loss.
What's going on? Connor started calling my mom about 6 this morning.
The call was about Sebastian Polk's cousin, LaTosha. Her family hadn't heard from her since Wednesday's terrorist attack on Bourbon Street. The coroner asked if they could come identify.
Man, it's just a tragic, man. Tragedy. This woman, mother, a CNA, taking a different approach, a different path to life. A night off. Get fresh. Hair laid. Babysitter. Fresh fit. Been planning it already. This was never a part of her plan. She planned to go party, enjoy herself on Bourbon Street, have some drinks, have some fun with friends, laugh, dance, catch beads, enjoy the ambiance of New Orleans, the festivities of being in this majestical city. She never had no plans on not making it home. In her mind, through her work, her life, she had to escape that part of life. The violence. The bullshit. Living honest. Job as a CNA. Potentially going to be a RN because they're running a family. Beautiful future. Gone. Shattered. Destroyed. Deleted. Defeated. Unalived. For what? For what? For something that she has absolutely no control of. All of these people taken for something they don't have a say in. For a decision that was made long before they was ever even thought of. Casualties. In a pride contest between countries behind religious beliefs, behind creed, color, race. Gone. And she was the last victim discovered. She was the last victim identified. Out of all the families that received the heartbreaking, gut-wrenching, soul-tearing information that their family members was gone, the ones that had the feeling getting confirmation. But Natasha's family being the very last. Can you imagine how many times they called her cell phone? Can you imagine every time that they call the prayers that they said? Can you imagine the anxiety that went through their chest with every ring that the call made? Can you imagine the emptiness and the devastation every time the voicemail came on? Do you know how many prayers were sent up? Praying that she was anywhere else? No. But she wasn't. And neither were the people from 9/11 or any of these mass attacks on the public. And it's killing this mother, a complete stranger, somebody she had never met before, somebody she had never seen, somebody that she had never went to school with, somebody she never had an altercation with, somebody that she never had any open dealings with. Gone. So I had to cover her. And I had to say to all of the families, to everybody that lost somebody, to the city of New Orleans throughout all of the devastation, from Material with a Message and No Fair Chance, we send our deepest condolences. Natasha, we just had to say your name. And as we get a better perspective of the names and the people of their stories, we'll definitely be including theirs as well. And I just want to thank y'all for coming through and checking me out, spending some time with me. We got another banger coming a little later. Hey man, we're gonna close it out. And I just hope that y'all just keep checking us out. Keep liking and subscribing and sharing. And I thank y'all very much. I'm gonna be getting back on live at 10:30 tonight. I got something that I need to discuss, and I'm calling all the troops and asking for y'all help. And we just pushing, man. So MWM, and we just want to send our deepest condolences to everybody in New Orleans and wish everybody well. Thank you and good night.